Okay, recording this video after close trade Monday, 4th of June 2012. Hope you had a good day's trading today. Well, today we kind of held 1272.75, 1.9 million contracts traded, and we traveled pretty far, pretty fast. So there was a point at which we were going to find some kind of support divergence patterns kind of coming in, bouncing a little bit down here. Don't want to talk about that too much today. Actually, what I want to talk about is how to trade congestion zones or ranges and between support and resistance levels. The kind of classic one today. Just back it down to the 4,500 tip bar chart. This was today's activity. This was the open this morning. This was the activity on Sunday evening. So on Sunday evening we kind of crashed out of bed, and then we had all kinds of rumors driven out of Europe about how they're going to save everything. Haven't we heard that for the last 2.5 years? Anyway, so we had this pretty powerful rally that kind of got going into 1280s, and when we kind of topped out blue professional bars, this was almost exponential. It was kind of like a short covering rally. You could feel it just blow off there, and then the blue professional bars selling that quickly, getting through those early day lows, and then bang, we kind of sold down to 1270, 1269, kind of down here. Then we bounced during this period here. This is the zone I want to talk about, this kind of congestion zone here, how to identify it, how to trade it, and in the better indicators, what you'll find in these congestion zones is amateur bars on the highs and the lows, kind of marking that congestion zone. It happens to be support and resistance levels on better sine wave on the 4,500 tip bar chart that we end up resolving, going down here, and all this cluster of blue professional bars here, just getting short here. They held the market up during this period here forever. Absolutely forever, until we finally crashed out of bed in this move that was then incredibly quick after that. But what I want you to note is the way the direction of these amateur bars. So we had amateur bars kind of heading up to the highs of those ranges. First of all, we kind of went down with an amateur down bar, which is usually a sign of strength, and we kind of went up, and then the next bar was an up bar, and we ended up an amateur up bar at the top of the range. So it was almost like we had the range kind of marked here with amateur down bar, amateur up bar, and then we kept on coming down with another amateur down bar that marked the low of this range. So that's the move is being led by the amateurs. The direction is being led by the amateurs, so it's always a little bit suspect. Got to wait and find out if it's a true kind of break in that direction. Well, at that point it wasn't. We headed back up to the top of the range. Another amateur up bar hits the top of the range, so the amateurs are trying to buy the breakout. Remember, professionals are always fading breakouts. They're taking profits and they're reversing the market at breakout levels. Amateurs love trend moves, and amateurs are always buying breakouts. I know that's in my trading. I'm always looking for the big kind of trend move. I wonder if you do the same in your trading, kind of looking for the breakout, expecting the big breakout. But you're just being gamed here during this zone. So it's like, when the move is being driven by the amateurs, just watch out. So we then kind of moved to the bottom of this range again, kind of amateur up bar into the top of it, started to come down. Then at this point we had an amateur down bar that was kind of testing down. We started to break to the highs of that, and then it finally gave way. The professionals kept it here, and then they sold off. Then they kind of stepped back in at the bottom here, and then we rallied. We had another kind of rally. This was almost like a short covering rally here, kind of taking off back to the top of this range. So if you go down some time frames, so let's look at the same activity on the 1500 tip bar chart. It was an area, again, this kind of support and resistance. You can see resistance here was a pullback and a downtrend, a support level that was end of trend, back up to resistance level, and then finally we kind of break out here, and you can see again clusters of blue professional bars here. It's like a little bit of a gathering here, a little bit of a gathering here of blue professional bars, kind of just getting positioned here. And this move wasn't over, so we'd had exhaustion selling on the downside here, but this was in the wrong place for exhaustion selling to end this move. It certainly, we put in bullish divergence patterns, we rallied from there, but this trend move wasn't over because we didn't see the exhaustion selling kind of down here. I was in two minds when I saw this, and I was kind of trading thinking at this point here, well, maybe we're going to reverse into an uptrend, and so I kind of spent quite a lot of time backwards and forwards, getting in and out, kind of long and short during this congestion zone, until it kind of, then I figured out, right, I understand what's going to happen here, because this had not been seen on the downside. And there's the bottom of the day. Exhaustion selling, bullish divergence comes in, pullback to end of trend, beautifully marked down here, and then we had this rally from there. So because we'd not seen that, that was in the wrong place here, we had to go through this congestion zone here again. Looking at this congestion zone, amateurs kind of driving it here, then they drive it to the top of the range, they come down, they drive it to the bottom of the range, they're getting wrong-footed each time, then they're driving it to the top of the range, the blue professional bars kind of come in, we kind of shoot past them a little bit, thinking it's a false breakout at 76 up here, and then we collapse, blue professional bars kind of step in, and then if you go down to the 500 tip bar chart, look at this. Whole series of Rambo patterns at the tops and the bottoms of these ranges. So we come in Rambo, Rambo, another Rambo, Rambo kind of down here. Remember, Rambo is a reversal of a potential reversal of an amateur breakout. So the breakout is being driven by the amateurs. You can see amateur up bars kind of trying to break out to new highs, and they're suspect if they're not kind of supported by professional activity. Particularly if you get exhaustion buying at points like this. So this is a classic, very unstable pattern. You get a Rambo pattern up here, amateur bar, with exhaustion buying at that point. That's saying that the market's run out of buyers, and those buyers happen to be amateurs. So it's a very unstable pattern. Comes back down. We come in to test again. Rambo patterns, exhaustion buying patterns up here, unstable, kind of goes back again. So you can see all the Rambo patterns at the top of the move, at the bottom of the move here, and then we have a couple down at the bottom here, and then we get this kind of gathering pattern until we break down. You can see blue professional bars, all the blue professional bars during this sequence here are at the tops of the moves. We're always breaking the lows of those blue professional bars. You can see we're breaking the lows of those blue. We hold it a little bit here, but again we kind of come in again, break the lows of that. Amateur up bars here, so that's again a sign of weakness. The amateurs are trying to buy that, and then we kind of break down. This is this little kind of last chance to get short at this kind of breakout level of around 71.70 down here, and we break to new lows, and then we kind of crack on down with all the exhaustion selling, flush patterns, pull back to end of trend, and then we have a final sell-off here, and then the market can rally from there. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Just look out for these amateur bars kind of marking these highs and lows of these congestion zones, and this move was not over until we'd seen exhaustion selling on the downside here, bullish divergence come in, and then confirmation with price, pull back to end of trend. That sequence there is a classic change in trend, and the reason why this one was not good, pull back to end of trend, because we'd had that move. This was happening in the wrong place. That's selling short at that point there, after we'd had our kind of explosive short covering, kind of almost exponential move up here. This was getting this move going. This was the exhaustion. This was the extreme selling, kind of getting this move going, and then we kind of have the final exhaustion on the left shoulder here. Often, the pullback to end of trend is happening at the same type of price level, and that's what marks a good change in trend until we race away to the upside at 1280. So where are we going from here? In terms of my trading, what I'll tag on my short trade. It was short at 72.50, kind of getting into this move here. Maybe I was a little bit early. I have to look back anyway, so you'll see it when I attach on the videos. So getting short at 12.60, moved out my target to 67.50 to pick up 5 points on the way down here, and it was almost exactly where the pro signal exit kind of comes in, which is kind of a good low risk point to take profits. Didn't have to sit through. There was a little bit more on the downside, down to 66, but I don't want to sit through all this kind of garbage backs and forwards. You can see, that end of that move was marked with Rambo patterns again, right down to the bottom there. Amateurs getting wrong-footed at that point, and then kind of reversing from there. But before then, I was kind of in and out with 5 trades, and I'd lost half a point with 5 trades. I was in short into this move, late into this move here, short at 72, just because once this thing got going, there was just no retracements on the way. So, I was lucky on the 500 tip bar chart to come in at, let me just pick this up. I got in on this little rise here. I thought it was going to signal a pullback to end of trend, just got in on a little bit of strength. There was a blue professional up bar that got broken, so short at 72.50. And then when I saw that end of trend with all these bullish divergence signals and those I jumped out, which is silly because I would have made my 4 points down here quite nicely. And those were amateur up bars. It's just like amateurs getting long too short, too early. So you had to wait until we see blue professional bars kind of coming in at the lows. So I'd made a mistake here by exiting this trade too early. I only picked up half points instead of getting my clean 4 points out of that. So then I had to sit through this garbage, kind of gap backwards and forwards, and thinking, well, is this in? Is the low in? Are we going to break into an uptrend? And it wasn't kind of clear until we got this congestion zone going, and then you just had to sit on your hands during this whole activity here, where it finally just gave way and took profits there at 67.50. So where are we going from here? 40,500 tip bar chart, exhaustion, selling, bullish divergence. We're coming in, we'll kind of play back to a pullback and a downtrend, so somewhere in this zone, and it's kind of very close to the 45-minute chart where we've kind of broken into this downtrend. We've got to see pullback to end of trend. So we're starting the same whole sequence again. So pullback to end of trend, first of all on the 45-minute chart, then on the 135, and then on the daily chart. So that's what I'll be looking forward for the next few days. So looking for a little bit of a jump up tomorrow to end somewhere where we get that kind of pullback in a downtrend. Hope you traded well today. 250, short 72.50, and I've just lost confidence in this. I know blue professional bar is kind of coming into support here, but we're in a downtrend on the 500 tip bar chart. It's got to play out to the support level on the 4500 tip bar chart, and this is in the wrong place. This is in the wrong place. So this should be down here as exhaustion selling. So I think we're going to go down. So short 72.50. Let's see. Good. Just pullback level kind of came in at 74. It's probably a better entry point, but that's fine. So we're falling through support now on 1500s. It's kind of come in. So pullback to end of trend's got to at least be made. But because I think this is in the wrong spot, I think we're going to see another exhaustion selling signal. And if you look on the 500, it's like we've had all these signals up here as it's rolling over, so I'm in pretty darn late in order to get a decent move. But so we've just had support coming on the 45, so we're through support on 15 or near enough, and possibly on 45. So all of a sudden everybody's kind of been building this base here that goes, as we see, down to 71. Let's see where this goes. We've not seen exhaustion selling yet. Well, we just had Rambo patterns coming on the 1500 tip bar chart. Bullish divergence here, but we're sitting right on the support line here. We're through support on 1500. Right on support here. We're not seeing blue professional bars kind of on the downside here on 45. The last ones were here, we're at kind of the lows of that, so I'm hoping we'll break through to 71. Well, we bounced from a Rambo pattern here up to 73s, but resistance coming on the 500. Blue professional bar just selling that down, and immediately we've kind of gone that way. So I don't think this downtrend is over. That was just a little bit of a testing. We need to kind of really come down, make a proper exhaustion pattern. So let's keep holding. Hopefully break through 71s. Here we go. I'm just moving my target out to 67.50, and just had a little bit of a gathering here. A couple of bars. Blue professional bar kind of selling down. So low here at 71. Looks like we're going to punch through. And then I think this was 69.50 was kind of the previous low around here. So there'll be a bunch of stops there. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of travel. We're still waiting for this breakdown at 71s. A whole bunch of blue professional bars coming on the 1500 and on the 500, and mostly they're breaking the lows of these blue professional bars. We just came back up to 72.50, which is the entry point, and I was just about to, well, if we get a break above a resistance level on the way up to like 73 or something, I'm going to give this away and give up for today. And just think that's kind of, but because of this, I think we're going to break through 71s and see exhaustion selling on the downside. I just don't think that move is over. We're below support here on the 1500. We're actually kind of breaking through support on 45. Now we've had pullback to end of trend. We're kind of trying to make support here. which kind of lines up on the 45 here, but because we've come through here, so just waiting and waiting. If it goes to like 73, I'm out though, so let's just wait and see. Finally getting the break down to 70. It's just been hanging and hanging and hanging, just waiting. So because we've got these kind of bullish divergent signals lining up with below support, we've got to see exhaustion selling as we bounce back up. Anyway, let's keep holding. Finally getting a little bit of action. 69.50. The original target's 68.50. I'm looking for 67.50. Here we go. Whoa, just ran some stops at 69.50. It was a bunch, so we just got to 68.50. So let's see, we've got exhaustion selling 500. Blue professional bar kind of comes in here 9,000, so we could get a pro signal exit here, but it's kind of turning down. So let's see if we just keep on running. Kind of had it with this trade. It's 2:15 in the morning here, so well, let's get out of this. Just down 67.50. Finally, and just did a pro signal exit. A whole bunch of exhaustion selling signals kind of came in here. We just kind of ran all those stops down at 69.50 all the way down. So finally, that was 5 points, and I had half a point loss on 5 trades prior. So finally got the trend direction right, but not without its trials and tribulations today. Lots of toing and froing. It'll be interesting to see where this ends up today. Hope you traded well.